What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mick Manhattan, back again. And I was supposed to do a special episode where I was interviewing Ryan Kude, who is the producer, director of Mount Skylight, which is a indie feature film that is being filmed in Virginia, in the state of Virginia, 100% by Virginia dollars, Virginia actors, Virginia crew, the whole 9 yards. And he was going to do a fundraiser tonight right here in Winchester, Virginia at a Scutcheon brewery. But unfortunately, with everything that's going on, the gathering had to be canceled. And I thought it pertinent, and so did he, that maybe we save our interview for closer to the fundraiser again. But I am looking forward to having him on the show. I really want to discuss his film and discuss other things with Ryan, because he seems like a really good guy to know. And I'm looking forward to that. So, but I wanted to put something out there. I mean, right now is some pretty trying times. As of 3:30 today, the president came on and declared a national emergency with coronavirus going around. And, I think there's a lot of panic going on, a lot of fear, but there's also a lot of, just different feelings altogether. I know, like, my kids are out of school for 2 weeks. My wife is home. Thankfully, we're very fortunate in that, we have a certain type of base, but we know a lot of people are really worried and scared. And here with the Scene Snobs, like, I want to entertain, but I also want to inform, and I just don't want to be there for you guys. So just so you know, we will still keep putting out daily content. I want you guys to enjoy it. And kind of reach out if you feel like you need to reach out to anybody and talk or anything with everything going on. We follow at the Scene Snob on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, the whole nine. You can comment, you can message, and be happy to listen. I appreciate all the connections I've made. And also, we're starting a new campaign with everything going on to help small businesses. This is essentially a small business. I started this 5 months ago. And I've seen a lot of support, and I want to support it as well. So I know in trying times like this, small businesses can tend to suffer, and I'm offering free marketing on all of my shows, on my social media, to help out in any way that I can. I think a really good way that we can help out is people don't want to eat out or be out or go shopping or things like that. Maybe go to some of your favorite small businesses and buy gift cards. I've heard that other places. Buy gift cards, so that kind of gives them some money to help out through these trying times. And then you can come back later and you can, go out for date night, or just go get something cool, or, if it's a collectible store or something like that, or whatever, music shop, something like that. But, let's help them out. Let's do what we can. And right here, anybody who has a small business anywhere, I am happy to advertise for you on any one of our shows. We'll talk about it on the podcasts. I'll put your logo up on the videos. Do whatever I can. No charge. All I ask is that maybe, if you're up for it, if you feel obliged, just say something nice about the scenesnobs.com. That's the only thing I ask in return. And maybe, we can help each other out and drive up some traffic on the site. So I appreciate that. With that going on, we're seeing a lot of cancellations, is what I've noticed. We are seeing, besides the schools, besides work, doing, trying to, bring down the chance of spreading the virus. We're seeing a lot of people staying home. Businesses like Disney World is closing for 2 weeks. Look at baseball's done for right now. Soccer, hockey, basketball, everything is kind of, we're still up in the air with WrestleMania and what's going to happen there. I will talk more about that on the 20-minute wrestling podcast coming up. But there's so much, and a lot of people could view this as scary times, but you could also view this as hopeful times. Now, these are communities really coming together to try and help the healthcare professionals try and contain this and really help stop the spread. So, let's applaud a lot of these businesses and these entertainment shows, things like that, because they are taking hits, but they never realize how important it is to kind of take everything out, and I know it's unfortunate, like especially with conventions and like film festivals, things like that. Like there's a lot of postponements and stuff like that, and concerts and whatnot. But it is a really hopeful time. It feels like everybody's kind of coming together and saying, no, we're going to really help out in this. And I remember, not to bring down the room or anything, but like after 9/11, that was after that, everybody really came together, and it was very hopeful and very, very nice. That was, during such a dark period. It was really nice to have people come together and be like, no, let's help each other. And that's what it feels like now, especially kind of with how divisive everything's being. Everybody's kind of, for all of everything that's happening globally, it's nice to see that people will still come together, even though, it's metaphorically because we can't physically come together. But metaphorically, we're kind of supporting each other and supporting our healthcare professionals in this time when they need it. And just want to see people get taken care of, and that's a really heartwarming thing, and I love that. And I know as an entertainer on our podcast and things like that, if you guys are stuck at home or whatever, and you just need some entertainment, hopefully I can make you laugh, or smile, or just kind of disagree with me even on anything I talk about, but like in a fun way, in a nice, conversation type of way. I often say to my co-hosts when they're on, or my wife, who is also my co-host essentially, but she does so much to help me with this site. Like I say to her too, when I'm talking to you guys on the camera, I want you to feel like you're in the room with me. Like, I want you to feel like that communal gathering of like minds, like we're just talking about stuff and the geek process, and just that we are each other's tribe. And if you listen to the Pulling Focus podcast next week, that will be a big thing that we talk about, the tribes and such. So that's what I want to say there. Because I don't have Ryan on this show, and due to cancellation, I thought it might be nice to come on and maybe kind of just talk about things you can do. Maybe if you're stuck at home, or even if you're stuck at work, but other people from there are home. Like, because I worked in a data center for a long time. And, a lot of you can't get out of that. There is no remote work. You have to be there. So I understand those types of positions. And maybe you're stuck in front of the computer at work, but you can throw something on, or you can listen to something. So I wanted to kind of give some ideas of what you can do. There is a cool app I use. It's called Happy Colors. I'm not a huge fan of coloring. Nothing against it. I've always sucked at it. But I love the app, because the app, you can color different pictures, and it's a lot easier. I stay in the lines that way. So there's that, that's an app I really enjoyed, and it's given me hours of entertainment, and it kind of helps soothe anxiety and things like that. So maybe that'll help you. My wife and I have just downloaded a bunch off of Amazon Prime. We've purchased, I should say, a couple of workout videos. Since we're going to be home, we don't want to we started eating better, started working better. I'm trying to lose weight. I've done intermittent fasting, so I'm kind of putting a plan together. I've lost 54 pounds so far. Still a huge guy, I know. Got a lot to go with, but working on it. But so we thought maybe if we're going to be stuck inside, and working from home and things like that, perhaps we should sit and not just sit and watch TV or things like that, but get our minds right and our bodies right, and start working out that way, and it will be nice out, so we can go take jogs or whatever. So, that's one thing you can do. There's tons of websites if you have kids at home that are really helpful with learning and things like that. ABC Mouse is one of them. But you can find offshoots of that don't cost money. There's Math Extra, or Extra Math, that my stepson loves going on. So things like that to keep their minds kind of going, because you can be physically active with them, but you gotta help them learn, right? While they're out of school. So there's tons of stuff, like I said, but also this is a movie and TV show, and also comic books and things like that. So I wanted to give you guys some ideas of things you can read Watch, binge, if you will. Um, Graphic novels wise, there's some stuff that, let me pull it up. I just had it going, um, that I wanted you guys to check out. So for one, Watchmen is one that I wanted to talk about a little bit. If you've never read Watchmen, these are kind of some of the bigger ones that have been around for a while. I have them up on the thing. So check out Watchmen by Alan Moore. And then maybe go and check out the TV show that HBO put out, which is a continuation off of the graphic novel. So let me know what you think of that. The Killing Joke. There's another one. It's a Batman book. It's kind of an isolated story. It's very good. That was another one by Alan Moore. You should check out The Dark Knight Returns, which is a fantastic one. These aren't from, a lot of them are Alan Moore, because From Hell was one that he wrote that was really good, that the movie was based on, but the graphic novel was a lot better. There is, I got one, it's called Weapon Brown. I really enjoyed it. It's a different apocalyptic take on, and it's kind of a vicious and dark take of the Peanuts story. So you follow Weapon Brown, which is Charlie Brown, and it's in the future where he is an adult. Him and his dog Snoop are traveling. It's kind of a Mad Max type of feel to it. So you should definitely check that out, especially if you like Peanuts, but like you also like darker apocalyptic tales. That's a cool one, and that's a long read, and you see a lot of familiar faces from children's cartoons of the past. So go check that out. There's local artists and authors. The book is actually premiering next week at Lost Weekend in Alamo and Winchester. I have not read it yet, but it's called Cuddles and Rage, Bite Size of Terror, and it's by local artist and author here. I'm looking forward very much to picking up my copy at Lost Weekend and check it out, but just kind of put that out there to support the arts in this wonderful town. There's tons of podcasts to listen to, so you always find one. But if you go to thescenesnobs.com, you can go. We have our latest episode 4, coming out next Tuesday, of the Pulling Focus podcast with myself and Brian Patrick, who runs the Skylight Indie Film Festival. And we got into the cancellations and things like that going on, and other things happening in the film industry today. You can check out any one of we just have another brand new, myself and Rob Gosher are hosting, it's a cult classics podcast called Behind the Box, which is the Video Store Kids. We sit there and we talk about, this is the second episode that's coming out tomorrow, and that's it's science fiction based. So each episode we might spend time in different, what we call the sections. So we're in the sci-fi section. Last week we were in the John Carpenter horror section talking. So we'll talk about a lot of stuff, so please check that out and let us know what you think of everything. But I have a couple of lists here I wanted to just throw out there. Like I said, because my interview kind of fell through, I just still wanted to get something up, maybe even though it's something short. But I put together some lists of things that you can watch during your time off if you wanted to. And one of them was my top 10 apocalypse movies. Now, my only thing when I was making this was I didn't want to add zombie movies. A little too on the nose in my opinion. So I wanted to add movies that I really enjoyed that were apocalypse based but not zombie movies, because those could take over. There's a lot of zombie movies out there. So one that's relatively new on the list, and truly one of my favorites, and if you go back on the Scene Snob podcast, I actually interviewed the director, A.T. White. Amazing guy. Listen to that interview because he is so terrific in it and really knowledgeable. And his short films and Starfish are amazing looking. They're beautiful stories with science fiction elements to them. Go check him out. It really is cool, and he is a really talented guy. So, but Starfish, which is an apocalypse movie, is on this list. You should definitely check it out. Now, that's more Return of the Dramatic, because it deals with very dramatic themes. So, but I wanted to make a list that would make you happy at sometimes, maybe make you sad at sometimes, maybe make you laugh at sometimes, but make you think. Most importantly, make you think. But in the end, you'll enjoy, and like you'll have your highs and lows through the 2 weeks or however long we are kind of quarantined for. But at least you have something to enjoy. So Starfish is definitely one of them. The Road Warrior. Now, I know Fury Road was amazing. I will never put Fury Road is right up there, but so is Mad Max. I even like Beyond Thunderdome. But the Road Warrior, in my opinion, is still the best of the whole series. It's truly an amazing film and a great representation of the series. So the Road Warrior, I would definitely put up there. Escape from New York. Now, if you want to get technical, Escape from LA is the apocalyptic movie because of how that ends. But Escape from New York is a sort of a grim dystopian future. Even though New York is really the dystopian portion of it, it's where we could be at in the future if really there was like more of a dictator rule than anything else. So, what I think that fits under the apocalypse type of list that I was going for. The Last Man on Earth, a Vincent Price movie from the 50s. Based on the Omega Man was also another one with Charlton Heston. It's based on a book. I Am Legend is also based on the book that this was based on, and it's Vincent Price playing the last man on Earth in a world overrun by vampires. Vampire-like creatures. And he is the legend. And it's a great, like, out of all the Vincent Price movies, I think, for me, that's probably his most well-acted one. I think, personally. I think he really, because he's by himself and he has to almost act alone for most of it and secluded, I think he does a really good job in it, and it fits the theme well. Take Shelter, Michael Shannon movie with Jessica Chastain. I think it's about 10 years old or so. It's a really dramatic movie, but really good. It kind of deals in the sense of mental illness, but also just desperation of wanting to protect your family and what he goes through. And also, I don't want to say faith, but faith is a factor in it. It's his faith in himself, faith in his vision, and things like that. Conviction maybe is a better term. But just a really, really terrific movie. Reign of Fire, which is an action sort of epic movie where it's in a post-apocalyptic world because dragons awoke and came back. And I just always thought it was a very cool concept. The execution isn't fantastic, but I really enjoyed it. It stars Matthew McConaughey and pre-Batman Christian Bale. I thought it was just a really fun movie. And worth checking out and revisiting if you haven't seen it, or if you have and maybe haven't seen it in a long time. Here is a straight up crazy movie from the early 80s starring George Peppard from Hannibal fame in the A-Team and Jan Michael Vincent from Airwolf fame, Damnation Alley. They play an army outpost after a nuclear war, who are just survivors, and they have to go from their Californian outpost and take this like almost tank vehicle that they built that can withstand anything, all-terrain vehicle, and travel across country to, I guess it's Boston, I think they need to go, where that hasn't been destroyed and that they can kind of rebuild civilization. It's a wacky movie. It really is, but it's worth the watch. I would definitely say check that out. This Is the End. Need a straight comedy on here, and I think this was a great one. Just the buddy factor of being stuck in a house during the apocalypse, I thought was just fantastic. Everybody did a great job in this movie. It's funny as hell. So go check out This Is the End. 12 Monkeys, an apocalypse movie and a pre-apocalypse movie, and great acting by Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt in the early days. Well, Brad Pitt's early days, I should say. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't checked it, I know the TV show came out on Sci-Fi a few years ago. I've never seen that one, but I do really dig the movie. So I would go check that out. And finally, on the apocalypse of my top 10 apocalypse movies, A Boy and His Dog, a really fun little apocalyptic comedy starring Don Johnson. Ooh, excuse me. Starring Don Johnson. And it's just a boy and his dog. So I don't want to tell you too much about it. So you should definitely go check that out, though. It's right up there with like the Damnation Alley. Damnation Alley was maybe a little sillier, but some things I wanted to. I had top 10 shows to binge. And just to kind of go through them real quick, there's a documentary series, a 6-part documentary. It was on Netflix. So go check this out. It was Wild Wild Country. It was about a cult that was started in Northern California. And they bought this town and took over the town with their cult, and like how the town kind of responds and fights back against them. And just kind of like the turn of how that all worked out. It is a fascinating docuseries. Go check it out. At every turn, because they interview like elite members of this cult that were like, the one woman was second in command. Like they really go in depth with it. And I would definitely make sure that you check this out if you can, because it's truly fantastic. Breaking Bad. If you've never seen Breaking Bad, or even if you have, go back and rewatch it. It's an amazing series. All 5 seasons. I've never really seen a show before or since that was amazing in the first season, and every subsequent season afterward got better and better and better, all the way up to the end, which was fantastic. And then you have Better Call Saul, which is on this list, which is worth the watch, and that's a prequel to this, and it's just as good, and it's been getting better and better each series. Vince Gilligan is a true master in storytelling for these 2 series. And El Camino, which is the movie follow-up to Breaking Bad. Go check them all out. If you have the time, they're worth it. All these shows are definitely worth it. Hunters on Prime, the new Al Pacino TV show produced by Jordan Peele. I just finished it a couple weeks ago. Absolutely loved it. It was heartbreaking, but it was also fun. There's a great tale throughout, and I enjoyed it, and I can't wait for season 2. Supernatural. This is a I shouldn't even say guilty pleasure. I think people deserve to like this show, because it's a fantastic show, played by Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. They are the Winchester brothers, and they hunt monsters, and so much more. Once you get to season 4, season 5, you're like, this blows me away. This is crazy. And it changed the series, and it hasn't gone back since. They are in their 15th and final season this year. Might as well binge it, because you get some cool monster stories, you get some fun brotherly love type adventures, and it's got a cool car. So go check it out. Supernatural, one of my favorites. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, another one of my favorites. Truly funny show. I think they're in their 6th or 7th season right now, which started on Fox and now it's on NBC, and it's still as strong as the day it started. It's still as funny. Everything that goes through it, it's just truly fantastic. Go check it out. Lucifer, another show that started on Fox, got canceled and picked up by Netflix, and it has gotten better. And they're coming out with a 5th season. And after the 5th season, we're going to be seeing possibly a 6th season, because that's how strong it is. Go check that out. Tom Ellis as Lucifer is terrific. The Clone Wars, which is an animated series, and also I kind of put up with it. Star Wars Rebels. You should probably watch them both. They kind of intertwine a lot. They're 2 different time periods, but like characters will intertwine throughout. So I would check out the Clone Wars definitely. It's in its final season right now. But I'd also check out Rebels, and like that's counting one for me. Curb Your Enthusiasm, truly hilarious show. Larry David is fantastic in it. Every episode has made me laugh out loud still to this day. I hope it never ends. And one of my personal favorites, being from Jersey, Sopranos. I can go back and watch that whenever I want. It's truly terrific. I say truly a lot, I know that, but it's true. It is truly true. It is a fantastic show. So go check out The Sopranos if you've never seen it before. If you have, that's another one you might want to revisit. And then I just want to give you some of the new movies I'm going to check out during this time to rent. Jumanji: The Next Level. I've seen Parasite, but I'm probably going to watch it again because my wife hasn't seen it. Which won Best Picture, won a ton of things, and absolutely deserved it at the Academy Awards this year. So Parasite, check that out. Jojo Rabbit, truly, terrific movie. It is. It's heartwarming. It's heartbreaking. It's everything in between. It's hilarious. It's dramatic. Everything. It's just and that ending is still like beautiful to me. Taika Waititi directed it and wrote it, and he adapted it from a book, and amazing job. Doctor Sleep, a follow up to The Shining, starring Ewan McGregor as older Danny Torrance now. Now, if you love The Shining, I suggest checking out Doctor Sleep. Pays a lot of homage. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, who also did Haunting at Hill House, and he's doing the follow up series. I think it's The Haunting of Bly House. Go check it out. It's worth it. Actually, that's another show you should check. The Haunting at Hill House. That's one you should binge. That is another one that deals with so many topics, but it's scary, but also beautiful at the same time. And Bombshell, about the Fox News, like Megyn Kelly, Gretchen, I can't remember her name. It stars Nicole Kidman, stars the amazing, truly fantastic Charlize Theron, one of my favorite actresses of all time, playing Megyn Kelly. Looks just like her in it. Go check out Bombshell. And Margot Robbie is in it. She plays a new character added, like a fictional character added to it, but all great actors. I mean, I can't imagine you would find bad performance in this movie. So I'm going to be checking these out and more. But those are some things for you guys to check out. Just some ideas. Let me know what you think. What are some things you want to watch? Make sure that you comment down below. Send me messages. Like I said, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on the Scene Snobs channel on YouTube, at the Scene Snob, and everything else. Go on any social media or any podcast platform. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to everything. We have content daily, so we'll keep you busy if you want to listen to something or watch something. I know I listen to a lot of podcasts, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, Wrestle Talk, all that stuff, and so much more. The Sam Roberts Now, things like that. And I put them on while I'm cleaning the house, or I put them on while I'm doing dishes, things like that, doing laundry. So just fun stuff to listen to or watch. So hopefully you can find that in our shows. So go check them out. Like I said, if you have a small business that we are offering, some stuff is offering free advertising right now on our shows, just to help get you through this pandemic that we're going through. Just shoot me a message, shoot me your logo. I'm happy to put it on. Like I said, all I ask, no obligation, but all I ask is if you do feel obliged, if you would just pass the good word about the scenesnobs.com along. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this kind of small podcast tidbit, quibby, I guess, if you will, of the Scene Snobs podcast. And until next time, take care. We have Behind the Box coming out tomorrow, Pulling Focus coming out on Tuesday, the 20-Minute Wrestling podcast coming out on Monday, and so much more. Thanks again, and take care. Bye.